Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Mattel Wrestling Elite Mae Young action figure. Now this is an Elite figure, it's sort of a side release on Series 81. She was an exclusive of some sort. I got mine from Ringside Collectibles, but it didn't appear to be a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. Not quite sure what that means. So Mae Young here is one of the original OG wrestling women. She had been wrestling since I think 1944, back in World War II days. She made a comeback in the early 2000s, taking a bunch of wrestling hits. Very impressive for a woman of her age. I believe she passed away in 2014. Now, when I saw this figure online, I thought to myself, this figure is hideous. Face all scrunched up, hair looks like Carrot Top. I thought to myself, I have got to get this. I'm not saying Mae Young's ugly. She looks just fine. But I think the figure looks kind of hideous. We'll see how it looks out of the package. She comes with this very large, nice looking trophy. She got some alternate hands. Looks like a removable jacket and removable crown. And she's in her red wrestling attire. I believe this is from her comeback when she was older and back in the ring. Still kicking butt. Certified Authentic. Wrestling Elite Collection. Mae Young by Mattel. First time in the line. I know Jack's made a figure for her a long time ago. I'd like to track one down. We'll see. Here she is on one side, smiling, and here she is on the other side, wrestling. At the bottom, there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. And then on the back, here's some stats about her. And here she is in the ring. So with no further ado, let's open her up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She does come with 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. This large trophy. She's got a removable crown and a removable jacket. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So here she is. I'll tell you, she looks like your grandma going to work out. What a ridiculous concept for a figure. But this is something that really happened, and it wasn't all a gimmick. She was in her mid-60s in the ring, taking on some of the younger guys. Pretty crazy. So looking at her face here, I don't really think Mae Young's ugly, but I think this figure looks terribly ugly. The wrinkles, the smile, just looks like an old grandma, and the hair. It's so weird. First of all, the way it's structured to accommodate the crown looks bad. It's curly, red, long, looks like Carrot Top. That combined with the face, just ridiculous for a figure. Going further down, she's got this soft goods jacket. She's got a little crown, yellow one on her side here. Jacket's a little bit shiny. And she's got the red boots with the white lace. Overall, I couldn't help but buy her just because how unique she is. And then, here she is, broken down as far as she can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now let's look at her accessories, and let's start off with her hands. Here she is with her first pair of hands. These are her fists. A little bit of feedback here. The skin tone is a little bit off on those hands compared to the rest of her body. Not by much, but a little bit off. And here she is with her gripping hands. These will be my default hands for her because A, they can hold an item, and B, they can double up as fists pretty easily. Now let's look at her jacket. It's red. It's got some shine, glitter to it. Overall, pretty much just a regular jacket, and I love the fact that it's removable. Here she is with the jacket off, and then with her jacket on. The jacket doesn't look too bad. The jacket and the red shirt underneath. If you were to, say, paint her from her waist down to her boots in black, it looked like she had black pants on. She just looked like an old woman in some regular clothing. Maybe paint her hair gray. You could have Aunt May for your Marvel Legends Spider-Man collection. Now let's look at her crown. It's red, made of rubber. You can see which side is obviously the front versus the back here. Very bendable. Here she is without her crown. I really hate the sculpting they did to her hair to accommodate the crown fitting. It just looks so bad without it. And here, with her crown on. Now let's look at her trophy. My first thought, this thing is tall. This thing is about as tall as May herself. Thought this could be a good trophy, maybe a humanitarian award being given by Bruce Wayne at a banquet. This thing appears to be crystal on the top. It is made of a rubbery material. It's a little bit bendy and kind of squishy in there. Black base, white center, hollow on the inside, but a very cool action figure accessory. I can find a lot of use for this thing. Here she is, receiving this award in front of everybody. One of the proudest moments in her wrestling career. Here's this trophy, next to a bunch of other Mattel wrestling trophies I've gotten in recent history. I can use these for a lot of different various action figure scenarios. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to top, she's sitting at about 5.9 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 15 centimeters. Now let's check out her articulation. Pretty standard Mattel Elite articulation. Start with her head. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. She can look up and down just a little bit. I wish she could look up a little further. Shoulders on a ball joint. They can go out a little bit more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Got a bicep cut below that. Single jointed elbows below that. Her wrists can rotate, and it's hinged as well. She's got a ball joint or torso, can rotate from side to side a little bit, but go forward and back a lot. Traditional waist swivel below that. Legs on ball joints, they go out about this far. Go forward like that. Back, really not at all. Got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees. A boot cut. And then her feet, ankles go up and down, and that's it. Here she is in the wrestling ring, being cheered on by all of her fans. Here she is, facing off with the Dudley brothers. I don't know if you guys remember, but she got body slammed through a table by Bubba Dudley when she was almost 80. There's no way he's actually going to do it. And yes, those Dudley brothers are capable of anything. Now let's check her out, compared with some other action figures. Starting off with some other wrestling figures. I always thought she'd look good next to classy Freddie Blassie. Maybe because they're both old. Maybe because they're both in red. Maybe because they both have flashy clothing. But I think these two figures look really nice together. Here they are, having dinner together at a nice WWF restaurant. Here she is, next to some other female wrestling figures. We got a couple elite figures on the left, and a couple basic figures on the right. And here she is, next to some basic male wrestling figures. Then, next to some elite figures. Now let's check her out, compared with some action figures from different various companies, to see how she fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix her with. Here she is, with some DST, or Diamond Select toys. And here she is, next to some McFarlane toys. Now, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, with some NECA figures. And here she is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, with some of her Mattel brothers and sisters. Here she is, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here she is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here she is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this figure's pretty cool, if you're into unique, odd action figures like I am. It's not too often you get a regular, old woman action figure that looks like she's in a workout outfit. I must say, Mae Young's an okay person, but they butchered her face on this figure. She just looks really hideous here, if you ask me. I could see some interesting customizing potential with this figure. As is, I'm going to rate this figure a 6 out of 10. It's different, that's for sure, but I'm probably not going to get a lot of mileage out of her. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.